Hello guys, I got a request for how to model this kind of object and how to avoid these kinds of bad results, and that's what we'll show how to do. But real quick guys, if you're looking for what I consider to be the best 3D modeling tutorial on the internet, I recommend checking out my Udemy course. It's got tutorials on Blender, 3ds Max, CAD programs such as Plasticity and Moai 3D, and a lot of ZBrush as well. So if you want to master a variety of programs to really bring your skills up to the next level and master 3ds Max, Blender, ZBrush, and Plasticity, be sure to check out that course. Link is in the description. Let's continue. Alright guys, so this is a classic problem, but I never get tired of explaining and showing how these things are handled. So this is using TurboSmooth, this is using the support loop method guys, but I always recommend using Open Subdiv as opposed to TurboSmooth, as opposed to support loops, just because I just feel it's more flexible. So I'm going to show you both how to fix this problem. First of all, the result of this problem, guys, what's happening is because it's trying to kind of curve like this, and so you get this kind of bad subdivision result right here. All right, so what I would do is have 16 sides, and what I'll even do, guys, since this is a hollow object, is I'll go ahead and apply a poly, and I'll just go ahead and delete this right here. I'll just do that right there. All right, so the first solution is to have more density, and the second solution is to use Open Subdiv as opposed to support loops and TurboSmooth. So let's say, for example, I make a duplicate of this object here, and I'll insert a loop through here, right? And then I'll go ahead and delete this. So we got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply shell. Alright, so we've got this. Let's add a little bit more. Alright. I'll also scroll down here and activate straighten corners. Alright. So we got a little bit of this happening right here. So we can go ahead and maybe do a little bit of... first I'll insert a loop through here. So just go ahead and select that and do like a planar on the x-axis. Alright, there we go. So we got this kind of result right here. And so if we try and use support loops, guys, it's just going to be kind of a bad time. So we're going to go ahead and just use creases. Just select that. Let me increase this a bit. Create sets, and we'll make it like 0.2. Then we'll go ahead and open subdiv. As you notice, we are getting kind of a bad result right there. So even though we did the second solution, which was open subdiv, we still did not have enough density here. So I recommend having at least 32 sides. So now we're going to do the same thing, guys, but we're going to subdivide, you know, TurboSmooth or Open Subdiv, doesn't matter in this case since it's a very simple object. You can even go in here, guys, and just go ahead and use this kind of mesh smooth right here, alright? And I'll go ahead and do the same time, go ahead and delete this part. Alright. But this time I'm going to go ahead and also shell, and this time I'm going to go ahead and once again make this planar here. Preset, create set, 0.2, open subdiv. You're now noticing that we're getting a much better result. Now I always recommend helping out open subdiv just by having some loops here. It can help it out. But you're now noticing we do not get that kind of bad result right here. And you can kind of like move your camera to get more of a shadow to really see the bad result right here, whereas here, it's very smooth and clean. That's the first solution, guys, is to have more density. And the second solution is to use creases as opposed to support loops. Alright, but before I go, I want to cover some more things. Let's say you want to modulate the smoothness here. Well, it's very fun with Open Subdiv because it's just simple as doing like 0.1 right here. So this is 0.1, for example. This is just 0 if you want it to be very much soft like this. This is 0.05, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So I think it's much more efficient to do it like that than to you know, modify your support loops here. But another thing is, what if you want to have a greater curve right here? How would you do that? Well, what you can do, the first thing you can do is you can actually select these edges and you can just go ahead and put them in a new set. So that way, the first one here, we can right click and then select it. The first set right here will control these edges and the second set will control this edge, which means like right now, we now have this nice little curve right here. But we can easily make this like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, so we can kind of modulate that right there. If you want it to be even greater, you can even select this. Actually, I'll go ahead and change the order of this. We'll have the loops underneath here, like that. Then make sure that we still have all the right edges selected here. The reason this happening, guys, is because when you insert more loops here, you're gonna have to kind of fix this up. So we're gonna go ahead and select this again, and just right-click and update. We can also right-click and do add or subtract. I'll go ahead and re-add that. Alright. So now, if you want more of a curve right here, you can select this, for example. And you can either use set flow, but that might not work in this situation, or you can go ahead and activate edge constraints. Now you don't just want to move it like this, because if you move it like that, it's going to ruin the it may look fine, but it's actually ruining the curvature. So what you want to do instead is you want to activate edge constraints and move it up, for example, and then move it to the right, for example. And if you do that, you will get a nice little curve happening right here. You can then select this, for example, and then move this higher. And this is what you can do, guys, to modulate more of a curve right here. As you can see, it still looks fine. Same for these parts right here, guys. First thing we'll do is we'll add, well, now that we got this, guys, we can just go ahead and, you know, delete this one. And now we just have this. Like that. So I can actually just deselect that and then right click and update. And we can also move this. For these, I'll actually turn off edge constraints because we're moving straight down, so I'm going to ruin the curvature. Sometimes set flow does a good job as well. And that's how you can modulate the curvature for that as well. Alright guys, thank you for watching and take care.